So you clicked on this video because you wanted to be a YouTuber and you saw everybody using this Joby Gorillapod, and months later you realize that this thing is, it becomes flimsy and it becomes really obnoxiously unusable because the joints are just failing. As you can see, this thing could not really hold any weight underneath it anymore. So this Joby Gorillapod is pretty much useless for holding a camera. So I searched around and found a pretty good alternative that I think you guys might like. And it's over here. It's this small. This is the Sirui tabletop tripod. I don't know why they call it a tripod when I would call this a monopod, but whatever, it's a tripod. It's a tabletop tripod. If I could lock this into place, there it is. This is the Sirui 3T-35K. I'll link this particular model on the description down below, but this is how it compares to the Joby. As you can see, it's a little smaller, smaller footprint, especially if you fold it down. And so yeah, it's that small. What I like about this one is that it doesn't have any joints that could give out or eventually fail on you. It's just a pretty sturdy, compact tripod that could work for holding your mirrorless camera or DSLR, no problem. And it should be pretty good for vlogging. All right, let me show you how to set it up as a vlogging stick. Fold that down, lock it. Oh, you don't have to lock it, I think. That is how you can set it up as a vlogging stick. This is currently using my G9 with my 12 to 35 millimeter lens, and it's okay. This is with the tripod fully extended. I'll cut to the shot of me actually trying to vlog with it. But yeah, I mean, it's doable. It's workable. It's usable as a vlogging stick. I actually kind of prefer it than the Joby. You could also, if you unfold the legs, you can get an even farther extension out of it to get a wider shot. But I'll show you the problem with this setup is right here. When you're running and gunning, going about your day vlogging, this has the potential to spin and actually come loose, and that's not good. It won't be a pretty sight when you're just trying to vlog and all of a sudden you twist and this camera spins around and falls off. You don't want that happening. So one major flaw that I found with this setup is right here. Now with the camera off, I could better illustrate or safely illustrate on how the stock setup of the Sirui is not quite ideal for vlogging, because if you have a camera on this plate with the stock ball head, there could be a tendency when there's weight on here where this could spin loose, and you don't want that happening. And the reason for that is when you undo this, there's not a lot of thread that goes into the tripod itself. It's only that much thread. This doesn't count, only this part. And this is how I plan to solve that problem. Basically using my old ball head from the Joby. Let me show you. Take this off, flip it, just flip it, screw it back in, and then you take your old Joby, you take this off, and you just screw it right there, just like that. So that is actually a much beefier setup that I would actually trust you know, using as a vlogging setup. I would put my faith in using this with my G9 on here rather than with just the stock Sirui ball head. Also, one of the cool things about switching it out with a Joby head is now, as you can see on the Sirui, you only have one dial to basically control everything with. With the Joby, you have three. You can control this aspect and not this part. You can just control how the ball head moves and not affect the pan. You can lock that down, and you have this other one, so you can control this aspect of it, so on and so forth. There's just more options that you have with a Joby head. So I'm going to show you by switching over to the GoPro, so I can show you how it looks with the G9 on this setup. Alright, so this is the setup with the Joby ball head instead of the stock Sirui. And it's a little bit beefier. I mean, I still wouldn't want to wiggle it around, but why would you want to do that in a way? Because you're vlogging and your footage is going to be shaky as fuck. No.
Can't say that.
I mean, shaky and stuff. So yeah, here is the setup that I probably would use for vlogging. Here's how it looks like. Probably want to keep your elbows tucked in like this so your arms won't get tired. If you have an old Joby tripod, don't throw it all away just yet. See if you can reuse the ball head, get a Sirui, and maybe do the setup right here. So yes, the tripod, the Sirui tripod cost 65 bucks when I bought it. If you think about it, for this setup, for the Joby 5K or comparable, it's actually around 120 bucks. So you kind of save more money by going with a Sirui. So check it out, see if the setup works for you. Anyways, so yes, that is the setup. I'm using it right now. Hopefully that's useful for you. If you have any comments or suggestions, leave them down below. But yeah, I kind of like the setup. It's a little, I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. But yeah, this is gonna be my vlogging setup as for right now anyways. Might not be forever. Hola.